Alright everyone, it is Dokkan time again. And today's how to build is going to be for the literal second summonable LR in Dokkan Battle history. The LR STR Legendary Super Saiyan Broly. Yes, this was the second frickin' summonable LR that we ever received. And oh, the pain of summoning for him was so painful. Oh god. I remember the pain. The pain was real. But then when I got him, it was hype. It was so hype. I had so much hype with this guy. He's super fun. His animations aren't amazing or anything, but he is actually pretty good Super Easy A. In all honesty, the Super Easy A isn't too bad. I feel he's actually pretty good. But anyways, I'm exaggerating right now, just rambling on. I apologize. If you're new to the channel, my name is Joe Saiyan. I'm a bald Saiyan man, I'm a dad, and I make Dragon Ball content for a living. If that all sounds good to you, please do hit the like and subscribe button, and hit the hype button, because apparently that's a thing now. And let's just kind of go hop right into it. So, we're going to go through the breakdown of the unit, we're going to go through equipment, we're going to go through defense, a little bit of, I'm not going to show the damage, but I know how much damage he does. And then we're going to go through his build suggestions and roll tips. So let's just go ahead and get into it. So first of all, if I'd like to actually go over the equipment. So this guy does have equipment. The only problem is that it is locked behind an event that is no longer available in the game. Thanks, Omatsu. But anyways, yes, this is from the Crystals of Nadadai Village, and it has not been available since October of 2024, unfortunately. I do have a video where I actually go over this. It's probably not going to load it. Yep, no, there it is. Here we go. I'm not going to play the video, but it is here. It does exist. I will go ahead and link this in the description below if you want to go take a look at it. There are several skill orbs you can get from this event, but unfortunately, as of the time of recording, it is unavailable. So, unfortunately, it is what it is. There's not much we can do about it. But yes, it is unobtainable at the time of recording. So hopefully, this event will come back and you will be able to get his equipment orbs. As unfortunately they are pretty decent orbs. I'm not gonna lie to you, they are actually pretty decent orbs. You got level 8 attack orbs, level 8 defense orbs, you got some level 2 with level 4 additional and crit orbs in here, and then I guess the gold orbs exist. Honestly, this is the real loss here, is the level 4 additional with the level 2 defense orb. This is the true big unfortunate thing here. You know, bronze orbs we can kind of supplement a little bit at level 7. It makes a decent difference, but with silver orbs, it's not natural to find silver and gold orbs with defense equips. We do have them in the game, but they are not EX skill orbs, so we cannot re-equip them, unfortunately. So, unfortunately, his equipment is unobtainable, so therefore I will not be taking them into consideration into my build because they are unobtainable by other players that are new or just missed the event overall. If you do have these orbs, I do highly suggest you use the level 8 attack or defense orb, whichever you decided on. And then I highly suggest you just straight up use the level 4 additional with the level 2 defense silver equip right here. Those would be what I highly suggest if you have the orbs. If you do have the gold orbs, I would suggest the additional level 5 with crit level 3. That would be my highest suggestion. Only because this is a free orb. You can probably use a better gold orb though, in all honesty. So... But anyways, let's just go ahead and get into the breakdown of the unit now that we're done with the equipment fiasco. All right, so because this Broly is a super easy A, he actually does not improve his leader skill. He does not improve his super attack. He only is improving his passive. So let's just kind of go over how his passive has changed. Ki plus 3 attack and defense of 180%. He receives an additional Ki plus 1 per Ki sphere obtained. He launches in a free additional, so pretty much par for normal here. Chance of performing critical hit and damage reduction rate of 26%. Pretty nice, pretty nice. Attacks are also guaranteed to hit, which means that there is no dodging him. Now, when attacking with 12 or more ki, attack and defense of 200%. When attacking with 18 or more ki, attack plus 260%. And when there is a superclass enemy or when there is another extreme class ally attacking in the same turn, ki plus 3, chance of performing a critical hit and damage reduction rate of 26%. So that means that his critical hit and damage reduction rate is sitting at a nice 52%. Pretty nice, not gonna lie. Now, he also is supporting extreme class allies attack and defense of 26% for 2 turns. That's an off-rotational support, ladies and gentlemen. This immediately gives this guy stonks to me. This is stonks. That's what stonks looks like to me. Now, defense plus 260% when receiving an attack. We love to see that. Now, when there is a Pure Saiyan, Hybrid Saiyan, or Goku family category enemy, he plus 6 and performs a critical. Now, because these infinite equips are right here, this means that all you have to do is fight a Pure Saiyan, Hybrid Saiyan, or Goku family enemy, and then even if it phase changes into a different type, you will still retain this perform crit and ki plus 6. So, good to know. Now, for 3 turns from his entry turn, defense plus 200% and damage reduction rate of 26%, and before attacking, when all allies attacking the same turn are exploding, rage, or movie boss category. So this is the unfortunate part about this part of his passive. Now, it's very peculiar. So for 3 turns from his entry turn, he gets defense of 200% and damage reduction rate of 26%, but only before attacking, when all allies are exploding rage or movie boss category. So more than likely, it is very entirely possible that you will not have this active at all points of time. It's a very unfortunate thing, but I mean, this is only for 3 turns anyways. This means that you can only apply this extra 26% damage reduction and defense plus 200% for basically the first 2 appearances of the fight, and if you're on a full exploding rage or movie boss team. Now, it is very possible to do this, obviously, but movie bosses has lost a lot of stonks. This is probably more only likely that you'll be on exploding rage fully. It kind of limits his team options as far as short fights go, but I think you can still work without it, though I will say that extra 26% damage reduction would have been really nice, getting him all the way up into that 73% damage reduction. That would have been super nice and made him immensely better. So he will be good in select scenarios there with that extra damage reduction, but it is a little unfortunate that it is stuck to only the first 2 appearances for him, and when being on a full movie boss or exploding rage team. Thankfully, though, as far as team options go, he is on the new LR Tech Broly's team, which is an exploding rage leader. Now, exploding rage is a little rough in general, but I wouldn't say it's like, you know, the worst team ever. It is definitely a little rough, but it could still be definitely utilized. So I think he'll have a nice home with that Broly, of course. Now, if you want to be a little bit extra, you can throw him onto Omega's team. Omega does support off-rotation by 70%, so double leading Omega is an extra 140% off-rotational support for this Broly, and can definitely make up for the loss of being 170 over 220. I mean, it's supplementing it. He might have a little bit higher average defense and attack, but not by much. It's more making up for it, in all honesty. Otherwise, I would say Golden Frieza Gogeta is his next best team option. He does have a home also with the Super Saiyan 2 Team Gohan. If he looks familiar, it's probably because you watched the base Broly Easy A build where I messed that up, and yeah, go take a look at that. That'll be funny. AGL Gogeta is an obviously good option here as well. The Int Broly Uncontrollable Power team is still a fun team to run, and he can definitely fit nicely on there, along with the Tech Movie Boss Broly as well. And that's probably where I'd stop as far as suggestions for team utilization. Obviously, he's going to be much better in World Tournament as well. That is something to keep in mind. But I still don't think he's better than Majunior purely because Majunior is just an active skill in World Tournament. But that's completely different topic. So now, as far as his 12 key super, he just raises attack and defense and causes damage to all enemies. On his 18 key super, he's just attacking one enemy and raising attack and defense. Always remember that Broly only AoEs on his 12 key super, not his 18 key. Now, basic, go down. So his links are Saiyan Warriors, Prepared for Battle, Saiyan Lineage, Berserker, Fierce Battle, Super Saiyan, and Legendary Power. He's on a very good number of categories, his only main restriction being his first 3 turns part of his passive, so still a lot of good options in here. He is a Power Beyond Super Saiyan unit, so you can actually take advantage of the fact of Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Hold on a sec. Sorry, I had to go fix the roll tips for later. But yeah, he has a lot of good team options there. As far as his link partners go, obviously, Broly, he himself is his best link partner. Broly loves himself, and he loves to just go ah ha 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 and Kakaroto. So, I mean, yeah, I would say that his best partners are Broly's, of course. He links fairly well with the new Broly as well. Very, very well, in fact. I would say this is a solid rotation in all given honesty. The only unfortunate thing with the this Super Easy 8 Broly is that he won't have Super Saiyan going off, but maybe your floater might have Super Saiyan. He does link decently well with other units like Gohan because he is primarily just a standard kind of Super Saiyan-esque unit. So he could still link very well with other Super Saiyans on the teams. But yeah. So with all that being said, I think that's pretty much it, and we're just going to go right into defense numbers. Now, I am going to do this twice very quickly. So, compliments the Blood Raven for these defense numbers, but he does have calculations for the 1200 defense you could get from the equipment, the special equipment that you could have for him. But remember, his special equipment is not available if you did not obtain it last year in October of 2024. So, basically, with the equipment, you can get up to a nice little 3 million defense upon receiving an attack after he has performed a triple super. What this means is you do need to get his hidden potential to actually proc. I think it is very important to get this Broly's hidden potential proc because it does make a huge difference on his defense, especially when receiving an attack. So, I would just highly suggest that you straight up do make sure that you throw in that hidden potential there. But 3 million defense basically being the tippity top there, as long as you have your, your full amount of defense. This is, I don't think within the first 3 turns. Yeah, it's not within the first 3 turns. Within the first 3 turns, I'm not 100% sure he calculated that all 100% accurately. But yeah, 3 million defense is about where you'll probably be at. But if you were unfortunate enough to not have those 1200 orbs, then you probably are looking around the 2.5 to 2.8 range. So it's about a 200 to 500k difference as far as those orbs go. You can supplement it a little bit if you want to give him a defense orb. But I do honestly think that this is a unit that more so wants to do more damage than anything. I don't know how often he will be in a situation where he can't do a crap ton of damage. And honestly, at the end of the day, regardless of how you feel about this guy, he's going to end up either getting floated or he's going to be on a world tournament team. So I wouldn't necessarily say you're always going to take him into current level fights by any means. I would adjust accordingly to how you're going to utilize this Broly. Because remember, he only does have 52% damage reduction, so he can tank, about 5 million, 6 million supers, of course, but anything above that, and you're going to be having a bad day. For the first 3 turns, if you're on a proper team with his restrictions, of course, that extra up to 70% damage reduction will help you in current level fights, but that's only for his first 2 appearances. After that, he becomes a liability, losing that extra amount of support. So I would be very careful about how you use him defensively, but otherwise I am pretty happy with him. I think he's pretty fun. Off-rotational support, AoEing, yeah, he's pretty good. And his damage hits up to about the 50 to 60 million damage threshold, and additionals will be around the 30 to 40 million roughly. So it just depends on your dupes, and it depends on your team, of course. So, but anyways, with all that being said, let's just go ahead and stop yapping, and let's just go ahead and go into his build suggestions. So, 55% wise on the right side of the screen here, top right hand corner, you can see this is a 55% choice only. At 55%, he's already got his crit pretty much with that 50% chance, 52% chance. I would just honestly give him more additional, or you could give him crit. Either way, 55% I feel is a pretty rough for this guy. I mean, you're not benefiting too much from a 55% options here. He's going to be immensely weaker defensively and offensively, in all honesty. So it's more like kind of whatever fits your play style. Personally, I'd rather give him the additional, but I can see the argument to just throw some crit onto him and use him for a world tournament or something, or just throw him off rotation and hope for the best. Now moving on to a 69% build though. Remember, 69%, I am always referring to the bottom right hand corner of the hidden potential system. Always go bottom right first when you get a dupe. I would suggest going into additional still. So the first 3 nodes in the bottom right hand path go up to level 9. You give him a level 5 additional and level 2 additional. That will pump him up to a level 16. And then you'll have 1 node left, and I would suggest you just throw it into dodge. I don't think he needs crit. I don't think there's really too much of a reason to give him crit, because he does eventually, more than likely, will have, well, auto crits because of fighting a Goku family, hybrid or pure Saiyan enemy, and he gets that permanent crit. So I don't really see much of a reason to give him crit, so I would just kind of put that last node into dodge at that point. Now, moving on to his 2 dupes and above, but I label it as a rainbow build. Remember, the second dupe should always go the top left-hand path for your second dupe. Always go top left-hand. Now, I would still suggest going into full-on additional, meaning the rest of the nodes there should be at level 15 naturally and additional, with a level 5 additional gold and a level 5 additional silver. That should put you at a level 25 additional. Now I would suggest putting the final node into the dodge, so that'll put you at level 6 dodge in total. Remember, he's pretty much auto-critting majority of the time in most fights that you're going to take him into. There's no reason to give him any more crit. Now, it is kind of player choice as far as the bronze option goes. You can either put in a defense orb, or you can just lean in fully into attack. Personally, I'm going to lean into attack, but that's primarily on a rainbow build. If you have less than rainbow, 2 dupes and so forth and below, I would not suggest an attack or defense orb. Maybe a defense orb at 2 dupes and above. Yeah, 2 dupes and above, I would go defense. But if you're full-on straight rainbowed, then yeah, I think you can probably go for the attack orb. But yeah. So with the build suggestion out of the way, let's go ahead and move on to the roll tips here. Roll tips wise, honestly, he's primarily a damage dealer. That's just what he does. That's what he's always done. It's Broly, for crying out loud. And his kit kind of shows it. I mean, there's not really any questioning that in my personal opinion. Leader-wise, the new Tech Broly is obviously a good option. The Tech Golden Frieza Gogeta, AGL Gogeta from 10th Anniversary, and heck, even Omega is pretty good. And for a funsy team, Uncontrollable Power, Int Broly is a nice option as well. Partner-wise, it's all Brolys, and then a little tiny Gohan, and a itty bitty little Super Saiyan 4 Goku. I think you could arguably throw him onto some crazy team with Super Saiyan 4 Goku, get him that extra 10% damage reduction potentially, off-rotational support even. I think that the Super Saiyan 4 AGL Goku can really help this Broly quite a bit. But I just can't think of a team at the top of my head to really capitalize on that and take advantage. But best slot position, I'd honestly say slot 2 straight up and keeping with that. maybe slot 3, but he does have off-rotational support for extreme class allies, and I would prefer to keep him on rotation to keep that support going. But that's just me. So, I think that's pretty much gonna be it, everyone. Yeah, I think that's gonna be it. I apologize if I was really yammering about and just, you know, talking nonsense here. I've had a rough couple days and week, so that's no excuse, though. I'm a content creator. I'm supposed to be immaculate. Anyways, thank you all for watching the video. Please do hit the like and subscribe button, hype button if I'm honestly that hype, but I don't think so. Comment below what teams and what build you decided to run with this Broly, or are you just not even going to change the build? I mean, you know, at some point they really got to give us some dupe replacements for when we get easy A's and super easy A's. At some point, right? Anyways, thank you for watching, everyone. I hope you have a good day and a good night.